seriously, what if there is some ultimate orchestrator behind it all, everything, not just people. Whether you want to call it God or Allah, Yahweh, Brahman, Tao, or even just Fred. I'm not prepared to insist that this ultimate orchestrator or ultimate cause of everything is, necessarily a person or a consciousness. But what if there is some ultimate logic behind it all?
We believe that everything has a cause. We take for granted that each of these is itself a result of something that has preceded it. Does this go on forever? That is, does causation stretch all the way back to infinity? Or does it all ultimately stop at just one first cause? Now let's call this first cause, if it even exists, simply the ultimate cause. What kind of beast would this be? And what kind of properties would it have? Of course, religion has multiple answers to this question. Many would like to insist that the ultimate cause is some kind of conscious entity. Trouble arises, however, when they attempt to articulate these different conceptions against each other. And furthermore, debate increases when these different conceptions are set up against what science has to say about the ultimate cause. With these differences and debates happening, it is about time that someone is prepared to step forward and embark on a journey to put rigour and standardisation into talk about what the ultimate cause, free will and so on is all about. Certainly, much progress would be made if this was done.
We start by creating a general model of reality using first principles. Our objective will be to build a model of reality that is both generic and rigorous enough to accommodate the ultimate cause of everything, whether or not that ultimate cause is some deity or some impersonal organising logic. Once such a model is created, we'll be in a much stronger position to be able to make systematic sense about what all these religions are talking about, and also to understand why it is that science is so reluctant to enter into these issues.
Generally speaking, science is regarded as making progress in the sense that new theories tend to be an improvement over the previous one. It's perhaps inevitable that you will move in that direction where you have new data and you'll find new theories to explain what we previously didn't understand. That's one thing that seems to be a pattern.
Theories that are high up in the governing network are able to elegantly and comprehensively explain processes by unifying lower theories together. A good example of how this unification can happen is the case of how contemporary science has unified both electricity and magnetism. I should make it clear that in unification we capture the best parts of lower theories, while discarding those parts that are wrong. For example, when magnetism and electricity were thought to be separate processes, the separate theories were able to usefully explain and predict certain behaviour. At the same time, the more elegant theory that combined the two, that is, the higher node theory, was able to recover all these old useful predictions, plus more. That's right, and this progression of being able to explain more and more continues up to the highest nodes of the governing network. What's it got to do with the ultimate cause of everything being a god or whatever? That's a fair question, Kerry. See, it will turn out that the ultimate cause of everything, whoever or whatever it is, will be fully described up here, therefore containing all of the lower theories within themselves. We are not pre-committed to the belief that the ultimate cause is a personal god, or some impersonal organising logic, or even the final solution to science's theory of everything. As far as we are concerned, it could be either, or something else entirely. It doesn't matter. The theory that we have built requires only that the ultimate cause is able to explain the whole of the rest of reality. Whatever nature it has, we entirely leave open.
For us, it is not fortuitous. For all religious people, then we will say that there is a first cause, and that first cause is God.
Most religions have a set theories of ideas and dogmas. Science sets itself up to demolish every day various parts of its chosen formulae and discoveries and precepts.
Of course, philosophers have long given up any notion of absolute truth. No philosopher would want to say, or any scientist would want to say, that science tells us the absolute truth.
Theories of current science are far below the ultimate cause level of explanation.
Now, for science to progress up the network, it would have to undergo radical revision to get there. And if we imagine science getting closer still to the ultimate cause level, then science would again face further radical revision, or paradigm shifting, which all means that by the time science manages to reach the ultimate cause level, science's picture of reality will have paradigm shifted so much that it will be completely unrecognisable to the picture we are familiar with today.
Science should easily progress up the governing network as it gets rid of old theories in favour of new ones. It doesn't have the limitations of holding on to old theories that are no longer worthwhile. Most religions, on the other hand, hold on to a few theories that they will never change, thus leaving them stuck somewhere in the governing network for all time. In addition, science's predictive reliability has allowed for the development of certain practical benefits. Benefits that include cures for cancer, the convenience of a cell phone, and the digital technology that allows you to watch this program today. Well, in the end, we can't be certain that the highest node theories can ever be reached by a finite number of steps. And even if this finite number of steps does exist, it doesn't necessarily mean that us as finite beings can ever reach that level in practice. For there may be practical barriers that stop us from achieving this. Practical barriers that include, well, engineering constraints, which may affect how accurate our measuring devices are, or economical limitations that mean that we're unable to make the trillion-dollar particle accelerator, or even limitations in our intellect that mean that we're unable to grasp certain subtleties of nature.
We have certain limitations, just like dogs can't play chess. There's some things that beyond the intellectual capacity of other animals, and presumably there are things that are beyond human capacity to understand. That's probably the case, but of course, given that, we won't know what those things are. We'll just find some things we can't understand.
So in short, Kerry, we can't rule out the possibility that we may never actually reach the highest level. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't at least try.
In the end, the absolute truth is only described at the ultimate cause level, at the very highest level of nodes, and until we reach this level ourselves, we are in a state of perpetual ignorance, a state where even our best scientific theories are mere shadows of reality. And more than that, they are shadows that are in store for several radical shifts over time.